Hello everyone, welcome to the third and final part of report writing explained by Deepshikha ma'am. Here we'll be discussing the marking scheme and other important factors which will help you garner more marks. Moving on.
At the very outset, let me tell you what is the marking scheme for report writing. So the report writing has got a very short format, so the board has ascribed only 1 mark for that. Content has 4 marks and expression has 5 marks. Again, there is a subdivision in the expression, grammatical inaccuracies, I should say here, appropriate words in spelling. Appropriate word, what we mean over here, which I'll be discussing later also, that what kind of lexical terms or the right word should be used. Otherwise, your report just becomes a very mundane and an ordinary report. So, in order to make your report better presentable, I we will be having certain words also for that. So you bear in mind that coherence and relevance of ideas and style. What do I mean by coherence? That is, you do not digress from what you are writing or what your question is being asked, and it should be very relevant one. Otherwise, it makes no sense at all of what you are writing. So we have 1, 4, 5, and again 2.5, 2.5, as you can see here. Uh, the first thing is the headline. Usually, a headline only carries 1 mark, but then you need to impress your examiner, and not only your examiner, what I should say is that whenever you write, later on in life also you'll be writing blogs and things like that. So, what is important is a good headline is very important when you're writing a newspaper report or a school magazine report, and your headline has to be interesting enough. So, usually what we end up is a quiz, a debate. I do not try to make it important. Now remember, when you are reading a newspaper, what do you see? You try to read the headline first, and then you decide whether I should go with the news line. In fact, the editors also have a competition as to which news would take the cover page. So you see here, headlines do really matter. Most important, headlines are short and snappy. So they, and moreover, they are also written in the present tense, like dog rescues man from river, not a dog rescued a man from a river. Though the event is in the past tense, however, the headline has to be in the present tense. Some headlines use wordplay such as puns, where a word has more than one meaning. So now you have got to be witty here. That's what it implies here. So you can have that. For example, catastrophe of missing kitten. So you have the cat and the strophe over there. Can you get the word there? So there's a catch over there. The word cat is already there. Got it? Next. So the headlines are really becoming interesting now here. Next we have rhyme and alliteration. Of course, you must be wondering that why did we learn rhyme? Now rhyme comes here to your rescue. Daring dog defies death. Can you see the alliteration? Duh, 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 duh. Okay. Again, I have lucky ducky. Again, here I have here the rhyme here. Cometh, comet. We have alliteration here, the initial consonants. So it makes more interesting, right? This can be one way, not that every time I'm saying, I'm suggesting various ways how you can have them. Next is oxymoron. Oxymoron, where two words opposite in idea come together to create an effect. Now, usually the journalists and the authors employ this because it makes very interesting headline. Living death, deafening silence. Parents keep kids at home to protest school closure. So you see here, these topics really make the reader go on to read your article, and that serves your purpose. Hence, you got to have a very interesting headline. Here in this slide, I have tried to give you certain phrases that can be used in a report. So the aim of this report is to, now what is this? I have given several words over there. You can see: examine, consider, investigate, calculate, ascertain, test, summarize, demonstrate, illustrate. So what is the purpose? So you can use these various words, it is going to break the monotony of writing a report. Next is we find out. We can see from the graph, examining the data, we can see our findings suggest. Now, when you're also writing this, you try to substantiate that with some kind of a data. It need not be factually correct, but what you're trying to see is this, that this is the way it ought to be. So we find that, and then you give the data, and that is certainly going to enhance your report write up altogether. Next, we have to anticipate. In case if you are anticipating something about some event, say you are describing about a fire incident, so you weren't there at the site at the moment, but later on, when you are writing a report, you get the witnesses and the sources to report, and apart from that, you do anticipate. So you are saying that to think, to expect, to estimate, to find. So these are the various ways how you can use. I'm just giving you uh, certain phrases, and I want that you incorporate these phrases in your report writing. So please keep this in front of you while you're writing so that your report comes up well. Students, the next what I have given here is this. I usually find, whenever I teach, I find that students are at a loss, they do not know the authorities. So a few of them I have just given as a guideline that will help you. Now, whenever you're writing a report, there has to be a very relevance, what I had said earlier. So when I'm writing a road accident, so the road accident has to be dealt by the DSP traffic, or if it is a burglary, it's a Thana police station in charge. Now, again, what usually the students do is that if there's a railway accident, obviously it has to be the GM of the respective zone or the railway minister at the best. You're not going to call the deputy commissioner there, right? Because this is a railway accident. So do not have such errors, you try to avoid that. Even if it is a hospital, the chief medical officer is going to report about that, or the person, the doctor at the emergency room, he's going to report that. So what is this? This is relevance. So you have to bear in mind that which authority according to the report would go, not random, something arbitrary out of your mind, whichever comes, I need to write about their DC or SP. Normally I get DC, SP and CM. So that is not the case all the time.
Students, I would like to inform you that you must have seen in the first slide that relevance carries 2.5 marks. In a 10 mark question, 2.5 marks will really enhance your marking. So kindly bear this in mind. Moving on.
Reporters usually have this style of infusing Latin phrases. I think it might help you in the long run as well. I have just given you a glossary of a few Latin phrases that can be used in your report writing, which is certainly going to make your writing very well.
So I'll help you gloss through all these words. Kindly pause at every slide and take a screenshot if you want. This is not compulsory, only for students who want more marks or who are interested to increase their vocab. So this is the first slide. The second one. Take screenshots if you want. The third slide. Fourth and fifth. So that is all for report writing, and we are done with report writing right now. Thank you.